Hello everyone and welcome to the Elder Scrolls Online with me, your host Crypto, a Crypto Gamer, and today guys we are going to be taking a look at the Vengeance PvP campaign set in Cyrodiil and what all the changes are and how to operate within it. If you do enjoy the video guys, please like, share and subscribe. So, if you're a new or returning player, well, as you can see, the sky looks very different in Cyrodiil today compared to what it usually does. And quests and many other things in this game, or game mode should I say, have actually been completely stripped back. So you can no longer hand in any bounties, any quests, anything like that at all. You can't even interact with siege merchants or anything else like that. However, one of the good things is in this campaign you get unlimited siege. All you have to do is quick slot it, and unlimited soul gems to revive people. As well as that, as you can see, the Vengeance campaign also disables all sets, including monster sets, and it also disables champion points as well, so they will not exist in the game. Your skills will be limited to your class skills, the alliance skills and weapon skills, and that is all that you have access to. And even then, a lot of these skills have been completely stripped back. You can't even use pets if you're a Sorc or a Warden, and you cannot in effect change your skill styles either. So what we'll do guys is we will head off and see how the fighting works. So I think the first place that we'll go is we will go to Chalman, and we'll check that out. And this is the first time in the Vengeance campaign that I really properly got to actually fight in any sort of battles or with other people, because when I'd been on earlier on in the week, bearing in mind I'd just gotten back my Xbox One, well should I say Series S, I upgraded to that. I'd actually missed out on most of this Vengeance campaign, but when I did manage to get in, it was dead. There was very few people in it, and it kind of bummed me out for those first couple of days, simply because I wanted to really test out. I'd actually considered going over to the North American test server, but I didn't actually have any high level characters to take in, so I didn't really know what I was going to be dealing with overall. And now that we're in, we're going to take on the guards, and we are going to then obviously siege the front door. Now you actually hit quite hard, and I have noticed that there have been some animation changes, such as crystal frags actually making the screen shake and actually having a bit of an impact with the way it sounds. Same with certain heavy attacks as well, which is really nice. I'd really like to know as well guys what you've thought of the campaign. I'd really like you to leave a comment and let me know whether you enjoyed doing the campaign. Now for me, I do understand that they had to strip down the entire campaign to the bare basics so that they could figure out what was breaking the Cyrodiil experience, and overall in some ways I do enjoy it, I do like it. But in others, it just felt too bare and basic. It felt like there wasn't enough to do. It was just pure all-out war. It felt more like a giant battleground stadium. But I did really like the fact that there was a lot of stability. You could have a lot of players in one area, and there'd be no stuttering. There'd be no pings or being kicked out back to the Xbox, being dashboarded. And there was no stuttering, and there was no lag either, which was really nice. Now of course, because I got the new Series S, I don't know whether it was either that my old machine was really having a hard time, or whether ESO has been actually optimised better now for the Series S and X, or whether it's just because I have a very new machine. But either way, I did like the fact that for the first time in multiple years, Cyrodiil was completely stable. I didn't have any problems with it whatsoever. There was no glitches, there was nothing like that. I also think that if they're going to carry on with this, what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to really start bringing the ability to bring back in sets. I would say all the PvP sets that you can usually get in the normal campaign, I think they should make them as PvP only sets, or at least PvP or at least sets up you can only use in PvP, but you can also use in PvE and make all the others redundant. The reason why I think they should do this is quite simply because I think it's all the complications from the sets that are causing the most damage, let alone skills and even scribing. I mean, once we added scribing in, that really made a complicated bunch of skills that we're going to have to put a lot of stress on the servers, unfortunately. So I think if they slowly start adding it back in, they'll be able to, over time, figure out what's working and what's not working. I did like using the siege. I did notice though that when you were targeting the doors, it wasn't always highlighting how much health the actual door had. And another thing about siege that they've done, at least with this campaign, and I think they'll carry it on in the regular campaigns in the future, is if you try and use somebody else's siege, they can reclaim their siege from you, so nobody can steal siege equipment anymore, which is good. Not gonna lie, I am a siege stealer and a trebuchet thief and a ballista bagger, you know, I always do that. It's a bit bad, you know, bad etiquette and all that, but you know, if it's available and somebody's got like 5 ballistas up, you might as well use them, because otherwise they're gonna break down before they ever get the chance. I did like how quickly flags were taken. It seemed like the flags would get taken a lot quicker, and you could also move farther into it as well. And the guards were still quite tough, but overall, if you targeted one and you really put some energy and effort into it, you could hammer and whittle them down very, very quickly, which was nice. As I've said before, it kind of took me a little bit of time to actually realise that anything that I slotted, it wasn't just one that I got, and that obviously it was an unlimited number. So I started actually repairing keeps and started repairing doors and walls and things like that. Because I hadn't really had any experience with the Vengeance campaign, it did take me a little bit of time to actually figure it all out. But once I figured it out, it became quite clear. All you had to do was just learn how to position yourself, make sure you were in decent ball groups, because you couldn't be taken out by just one person anymore, as you can only target 3 people at a time with any AoE damage, which was good. But it was a good way of scattering other players, especially off of siege, which you'll see in a moment. Is one thing that I tried to do, was to try and keep the doors clear, especially from being above, like when you're using oils. So I was mostly doing things like creating AoEs where they were using battering rams, and then that way I could sort of keep everything off. I did like how big some of the battles could be, because you could end up with a decent amount of people, but a lot of the time, because the campaign overall was relatively barren compared to what it usually would be, I did find that most of the time we were just taking keeps and then moving on to the next keep to take, and we basically got the highest score. The Ebonheart Pact had the highest score by far out of any of the other alliances, which showed me a lot of people didn't really want to test this out. Now, I don't know how this was on other consoles and on the North American servers, and I think PC was actually quite successful in its test run, but it seems like the European mega server for the Xbox was definitely not one that was particularly well liked, at least on this end. But not only that, I also think that obviously because of the new expansion, people are probably playing that way more. We even did a wee flag run as well, which was good. Got some AP for that, which was awesome. So yeah, overall guys, I really did enjoy the Vengeance campaign. It's not quite over yet, but it will be over in a few hours, so I'll probably be playing more of it after I've uploaded this video, guys. But I would like to know what you've thought of the campaign so far, and what you've thought of the video, guys. And not only that, we will also be taking a look at the rewards. Now that's one other thing as well, by the way. When it comes to your rewards, as you'll see shortly, and buying Siege, I've mentioned this before, but you can't buy Siege. But when it comes to your rewards, once you exit the campaign, you will have rewards, because otherwise it's just going to say all your currencies are 0. Now, I'm starting to think that maybe that might be a useful idea, is to not see you racking it up whilst you're in Cyrodiil, and then maybe having access to it only when you're about to buy items. I think this would actually be quite handy. So as you can see, I got 113k in alliance points and 307k in experience, and I even got a few of my golden pursuits done, which was very nice. And so overall, I really did enjoy this campaign, and I'm going to look forward to them doing it again. I think they should actually maybe make it a separate mode and just add little bits to it here and there. I think that would actually do a lot of good. Well guys, if you have enjoyed the video, please like, share and subscribe. This has been Crypto Gamer. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Peace out.